it's Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm. Today I'm going to show you how to collect seeds from the arugula plant and how to dry and save them. I'm a huge fan of arugula and I plant it every winter. I grow my greens in the winter because it just gets too hot here in the summer and they just die. I swap out my beds every year where I put in the winter greens. So this year, this bed was a couple years ago. This arugula plant is completely rogue and it was tilled under and everything and it grew up. So it was quite a surprise. So I just let it grow. The leaves, the longer you let it grow, like the hotter the leaves get. And so it was almost impossible to eat. They were so hot. But I let it go so I could harvest the seeds. And so let me show you a leaf, an arugula leaf, in case you're wondering what arugula looks like here. So arugula is this salad green that is more, it's got like little, I don't know, mittens or something. What would you say on the end? They're not, it's not a rounded leaf. And it's a sort of a spicy taste to it. So I've always really liked that addition to my salads. And if you go to Panera, that's a big thing on their roast beef sandwich. So on the arugula plant, if you let it go to seed, it will grow these stems, have these pods, and this is where the seeds are. If you watched my video on saving mustard seeds, you saw that the seeds on mustard grow very much the same manner. So you just pick these pods off, and you want to make sure that they are round. You can see the seeds. Let me see. So this one is like, you can see the little bumps. So that has seeds in it. One like, let me see if I can find an example of one that would not be ready yet. Hold on here. So if they're this little tiny ones, you would want to avoid those. You want them to get nice and plump. So these, let's see, I just had another one here. So sort of what I do is I pick the ones that are ready and I leave the other ones behind, and then the next time I come around and get them, they'll be ready. And they're sort of tricky like green beans, like when you look and then there's none there and then you turn around and then you find a whole big thing of them and you're like, hey, where'd that come from? And I already have some that are dried inside, so we'll go in and we'll look at those that are drying. It's a nice morning, so I thought I'd get out here and get some real quick. And then the plant will start to die off. Parts of these are turning like more yellow now. So that part of the plant will die off. So if you plant, I would suggest letting one go as long as possible so it will go to seed, and then you can save the seed for next year's green crop. I've got quite a few and it's starting to get hot out here. So I think we're going to go inside, start looking at the dried seeds. So the lighter and yellower that they are, the more ready they are. And you can let them dry on the plant if you want. But in my opinion, when you do that, they have a tendency to split open and then you lose your seeds and you just find a bunch of hollowed out pods in them. And also I have seen ants, pretty industrious ants since they're so small, climbing up the pods on the greener, juicier ones and actually boring holes in them and taking away the seeds inside. So you can see that it's not difficult, it's just time consuming because they are so small. You will find some pods that are just super full of seeds. Some of the pods you'll think, oh, there's not going to be any seeds at all in there, and then you crack it open and they're full. So you can't really judge the book by the cover, so to speak. You just have to sit there and split each one of those pods. I did it on this glass dish so you can really see. You can see the greener ones are the ones that are not entirely dried yet, and the more dry they are, they get darker. So you can see there's like different shades of seeds and how small they are. I did it on this glass so you could see. And here's one still in the pod, so you can see how small they are. If this is a pod, and it's dried. About 2 weeks, I think, for the pods to completely be dried out. If you live in a more humid environment, it might take a little while longer. And I just put them in just a bowl, and you just put them out and let them dry. I mean, I would not put them in a dehydrator or anything like that, because then you're going to risk actually cooking your seeds. So this is a look at the dried pods, and this is the look at the seeds after we've opened the pods up. This has been Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm. Thanks for joining us today.